Let's move it on, Sam. Let's go to ESPN. They suck, huh? They suck. And I never.
They're just trying way too hard.
I stopped watching ESPN. Gosh, probably more than a decade ago. I was tired of Berman. Basically, Berman. The whole Berman shtick is he rips off older announcers, and then he's like, "Oh, this is an homage to so and so." So rather than me create my own stuff, I'm just gonna rip everybody else off, and everybody's gonna look rumbling, stumbling, back on. You ripped those off, bud. You ripped them off.
Right.
And on top of that, we've all seen the YouTube videos. Berman, you're a jerk.
Right.
But I stopped watching him primarily because I hated Berman, and I think he was a tool. And I still think he is a tool, frankly. And I think I've actually been proven right because of all the social media stuff. We all know it.
We all know.
We all know, Chris. You skeevy punk.
And he's retired like 3 times now. Yet every time I do happen to catch ESPN, I hear him.
Yeah,
I'm like, what's going on, man?
I know they wheel him out with his comb over, like Hannibal Lecter. He's holding a donut in one hand and a hoagie in the other. I can't stand that guy. But then so I stopped basically because and I think the change happened once Disney kind of bought into ESPN, and it got into a lot of the stuff that I hate, Sam, the hot take stuff. It started with like Bayless back when he was still on ESPN, just saying the stupidest things like Johnny Manziel will be a Hall of Fame quarterback and Tim Tebow will be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He just says stupid things because it helps his ratings because everybody loves to hate him basically, and that's what it is.
Right.
Okay, I get it. You're going after ratings. I don't like it. But I get it, and I don't have to watch it. But ESPN also started going into these little vignettes, these little features, and we see all the high school kid who's down on his luck, and he hits a 3-pointer, and everybody goes wild.
Right.
I've seen that. Again, I'm there for the highlights. I don't want to see it, but I get it. You're probably bringing in more female viewership there.
Right.
It's hot. It's heartwarming. People obviously responding to it in ratings. Okay, I get it. I don't have to watch it. But then I was with Brad, as you know, Sam, on Sunday, and I got about 2 hours of sleep the night before. It was one of those nights, Sam, and we had to leave really early because Brad had a work thing to do at like 8 in the morning in Miami, so we had to leave early from Fort Lauderdale. I'm about to take a nap, and I hear Brad going, "Oh, no, oh, gosh." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "This Gardner Minshew Uncle Rico segment." And he's like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen." And so, I was trying to fall asleep, and I was like, at that point, I was almost dreaming because I needed that nap. And I just kept hearing him go, "Oh, no, now they're chest bumping." And so I was like, oh, gosh, this sounds so bad. I have to get out of bed, and I have to watch how bad this is. So I made Brad rewind it on his DVR. And we watched this piece of shit unfold, Sam. I have never in my life seen such garbage on TV, okay? And I've watched some garbage, Sam. Let's be real about this.
Oh yeah, we're garbage.
Yeah, I consume garbage. It's I'm basically a dumpster consumer for TV. This is so bad. Is it Chris Connelley? Is this the guy that used to be on MTV?
Yeah,
Sam?
MTV. Yeah, Chris Connelley. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Sam. Chris Connelley. Okay, so let me pick this apart because I have to get this off my chest. Uncle Rico does not look anything like Gardner Minshew. He does not look anything like Gardner Minshew. I don't know who tweeted this out. Some Napoleon Dynamite fan, which I didn't even know those existed anymore. Okay, I thought they got obliterated by the meteor like the freaking dinosaurs did. But Uncle Rico does not look anything like Gardner Minshew. Outside of Gardner Minshew wearing a headband and having a mustache, occasionally, I might add, he doesn't look like Uncle Rico. You know who else played with a headband and had a mustache? Walter Payton. I don't hear anybody saying Walter Payton looks like Uncle Rico. You know who else played with a headband and a mustache? Baker Mayfield. I don't see anybody saying Baker Mayfield looks like Uncle Rico. And
Jim McMahon.
Jim McMahon, baby. Now he's wearing sunglasses.
He's the OG, man.
He is the OG. But you know what, dude? Gardner Minshew comes out in this thing in ESPN. And Chris Connelley, they make it like a documentary, what's going on. And apparently Uncle Rico is really the Uncle Rico of Gardner Minshew, right? And so, I guess they were estranged or whatever, and they flash forward into Gardner Minshew basically doing an Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite impression. Pretty good one, actually. I'll give him that. That's the one thing they hit in the segment. But Gardner Minshew, here's the thing, Sam, has a beard in this whole thing.
I know. He wouldn't even shave it down.
He didn't even shave down to a mustache. It's not like he was clean shaven. It's not like he had to wear a fake mustache. He had the mustache. but he had the beard. And so, they come out to, they're like, hey, oh, Gardner, like the producers, they show up there and they're like, oh, Gardner, this skit would probably work a little bit better if you had the mustache. And Gardner's like, nah, baby, beard. That's how I'm going now. But he played. Here's another thing that drove me crazy about this whole thing, right? They didn't script it. So they let Uncle Rico, the one job Uncle Rico has had in his whole life was on Napoleon Dynamite. What do you think he made for that? $20 and a couple of Sizzler coupons for that movie role? That's his one thing he's ever done, right. And there's a reason for that, okay?
Yeah, he's bad.
So they come out and they it's just so bad. It is so bad. They come out and they start oh my gosh, it's so bad. They start riffing. And Uncle Rico's like, oh, do you do that stuff I taught you? Absolutely ill-prepared for this whole thing. I think probably Uncle Rico assumed that maybe there was a script and he would learn the lines when he's there. Nothing. They had no chemistry whatsoever. And Gardner Minshew's like, oh, yeah, I'll come back to it. Then they fist bump. Then they chest bump. And then they go out, and then they start throwing the balls out of the stadium. Chris Connelley, I'm begging you, retire. ESPN, I'm begging you, stop putting this garbage on the air. Just if you have 10 minutes to fill, don't shove 2 pounds of shit into a 10-pound bag and add water to it. Don't do it. It's awful.
Yeah. And you know what, man? I feel like we might be in the minority. I don't know if a lot of people.
Of course we are, because everybody's freaking out. Let me tell you, if we're in the minority here, I actually don't think we are. Because when they came back from this clip, this is another astonishing thing to me. When they came back from this clip, all of the people in the booth, because of course they're required to by pay, they're laughing and they're cracking up. Oh my, Uncle Rico! I haven't seen him in 20 years. Glad to see that he's still.
And the thing is when I first saw a little segment, I thought that it was just like a little cut. I didn't think they had made a
whole segment,
a 6-minute mini movie. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Because I was like, all right, whatever. It's very Disney. It's very on cue to do something whatever. It's a little blip here, but to make a whole thing and Chris Connelley narrating the whole thing, where's this guy gone? He went from covering Nirvana
and Kurt Cobain and all that. I actually think that was Kurt Loder, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Chris Connelley,
but he was there at that time.
Yeah, he was.
He was there, and he did some. Bigger. He did all the what was those big things that they used to have on MTV, the True Lives.
Oh yeah.
Chris Connelley used to do all the True Lives and stuff. So it was a little bit more now he's doing, stupid parody work, but the paycheck's probably a lot better.
The paycheck's probably okay.
Yeah. So
well, maybe not because ESPN kept him.
He's not leaving.
No, he's not leaving.
Yeah.
Man, it was bad.
Disney ruined our Star Wars, and they're ruining our ESPN, man.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get back to the snappy highlights, man. I know there's a lot of time to fill. I know there's about 18 networks now, 24-hour networks. Just play old games and play highlights. I just, bring back the film review, but I guess nobody really likes that level. Everybody just wants pure crap, I guess. No, really, truly, because, millennials and younger, generally, so about 40 years old, like we are, Sam. Well, we're not 40 yet, but 40 and younger, our generation likes to stream stuff anyway. So I'm sure everybody out there will be able to stream this awful segment that we're talking about. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can look at it because I watched it again on YouTube. So it's on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe I'll link to that pure crap.
Yeah,
it's bad. I can't believe anybody would put that segment together and be proud of it, proud enough to put that on national TV. I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah, it was cringeworthy, when they're in the diner,
mm-hmm.
Eating, and
then that's how they started. That's how they started the segment. Cringeworthy.
Yeah, and then he's at the end he's throwing seashells in the.
Oh gosh, you're right.
It's bad. It's bad.
There's nothing about it that's good. It's so bad.
Gardner's literally in it for a minute.
Yeah,
and the rest of it is a 5-minute Uncle Rico segment.
Gardner's in it for a minute with a beard.
With a beard.
It's so bad, everybody out there. You have to watch it. It's so bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So bad.
Go watch it.
All right.